الأطفال هنايا دور كبير،
ماشي كاع كيف كل واحد كيف مساهم، واحد مساهم بالسلاح، واحد مساهم بالميساج، ودي فوت في الكراطب.
يدور الأطفال دورة ما تنجحش.
الوغ هادوك كاع تسمى يقعدوا لك في الدماغ.
The Algerian Revolution is marked by acts of heroism of its brave sons and daughters, those who went down in history fighting and sacrificing for the national cause against the barbaric French colonizer whose main goal was obliterating the Algerian identity. Novels and records of history narrated the epics and the heroisms of Algerian women and men who sacrificed the dearest of what they had, their lives. Among those scenes and pictures lie the tales of young children's sacrifice, shaping an epic history of their own.
الأطفال هم المحركين.
The children are the engine. People used to circulate here in the Casbah with the help of children. At the time when you hand a child a message to deliver from one place to another, the message is never lost, even if it costs them their lives.
ولو يموت.
The French colonizer practiced all kinds of abominable acts: oppression, killing, displacement, and torture. Algerians were put in prison, left to starve, and even had their most fertile lands confiscated by force to grant them to European settlers or squash them. The Algerian child, like the rest of the society segments, participated condensedly in the liberation war. Despite the young age, Algerian children were aware of the suffering experienced by their compatriots.
ماشي كاع كيف.
Each child had a contribution. There are those who contributed with weapons, the others with letters, and others warned if the colonists passed by the side of the fighters. All this was during the time of war.
They had special showmakers who fixed their souls in order to hide letters when passing through the barricade, and sometimes in their bags. Little girls' scrunchies were also used to hide the letters.
Algerians became strangers in their own homeland, deprived from their most basic, fundamental rights. All this made the children's participation crucial in the liberation war. Many children carried the revolution in their school bags and their innocent hearts, abandoning playing with peers and enjoying childhood without the slightest fear of what they would face from the French forces if they were arrested.
In our homes, our parents would instruct us if anyone of the colonists asked about anything. We would respond, "We don't know. We were young and they were teaching us to keep secrets."
طفل صغير بس عنده روح.
A small child, but with a high sense of patriotism. He would not inform his family about his work in the revolution. He hides the truth. When his mother asks him where he is heading, he says he is going to meet his friend.
These old men's grey hair narrates what they lived at a young age, stories that are kept in their memory.
I used to live here in the area of Sidi Bish. Mrs. Fifi used to sell milk in Omario Street, and in the Billy Brothers Street was Madame Berengi, who sold bread. They were all foreigners. Nuclear Institute was being built here, the Caillou buildings, so the workers would pass by us with some grapes or bread for lunch in small basket. We were young and playing in the neighborhood. The lady would ask me if I knew the man who just passed by. I used to tell her, "No, madam, I don't know him." And the truth is that I didn't know him. Even if I knew him, I would say the opposite.
Some of them were not even aware of their participation until their parents narrated with fear and pride their contribution. To some, this seems unimportant, yet it meant a lot to the fighters who used every means to accomplish their freedom.
أنا يما كانت تحكي لي، أنا يما الله يرحمها كانت تحكي لي نهار زدت 56.
My mother used to tell me that when I was born in 1956, I was her source of concern because women would come to take me sometimes to deliver messages hidden inside the diapers from one place to another. We all lived with the neighbors in one house. I remember the woman who used to come to take me. Her name is Hanifa. She doesn't know anything about her place of residence or anything else. She takes me and brings me back. So when I go, my mother would be worried and wondering if I would come back or not.
History tells the stories of many of these children, but the story of little Omar is the most prominent title of the children's heroism in the face of colonialism. His real name is Omar Yasef, nicknamed Le Petit Omar during the revolution. The young boy had high patriotism, known for his intelligence, courage and love of Algeria. He was one of the first Kasbah revolutionaries whom the resistance trusted. Born in the Kasbah of Algiers, this courageous militant knew every corner of the city. As a result, he managed without difficulty to avoid the control of the French army. Jumping from one terrace to another, he blurred the tracks in the midst of the Battle of Algiers. On October 8, 1957, the French paratroopers dropped bombs at a house that served as a hideout for Hasiba bin Bouhli, Ali Lapointe, Bouhamidi, and Little Omar. The shot was fired, and the house exploded and fell into ruin, burying the charred bodies of partisans, including Little Omar, who died for the national cause at the age of 12.
He was trapped in the house. He was going to send something with them, and suddenly they were all denounced. When they had squared the neighborhood below, they shouted, wanting to bring the little boy down. Hasiba and Ali Lapointe wanted to scare him away. They told him to leave.
You're young. We are the ones who die. He told them no, we are here together. Either we all live or we all die together.
Such is the sacrifice of the youngest amongst the Algerians, let alone the old ones. This is the history of a great nation that snatched its freedom from the most brutal and barbaric colonization that has ever existed in the history of mankind.